Good morning, motor cars. It is a wet and rainy Friday the 26th. I'm afraid I don't have any birthdays or anniversaries this weekend, but I do have something that I'd like to chat with you about that kind of caught my eye this morning. I read that 10% of all the people who trade in a vehicle plan to use Uber or Lyft to get around forever after, rather than buy another car. That really kind of caught me by surprise. I mean, think about that. 10% of our potential customers just took themselves out of the market, and it's likely that that number will rise once self-driving cars become ubiquitous. That means that we have to chase every lead that we get until they literally ask us to stop, and we also have to do everything we possibly can to retain all of our service customers. Let's suppose we decide not to do that and get into another line of work. I've got some business trivia as far as that goes. A permit to sell hot dogs in Central Parks costs just $289,000 per year. If you had invested $100 in Bitcoin back in 2010, you'd be worth about $74 million right now. Let's see, 37% of public school teachers in the United States spend an average of $35 per month buying lunch for students who can't afford it, so probably not the most lucrative profession to get into. Despite selling roughly US $28 billion worth of furniture per year, IKEA is legally designated a nonprofit organization. So maybe that's something we could do. We could declare ourselves a nonprofit. Let's see. As far as spycraft goes, maybe you decide that you want to be a Russian spy, since that seems to be a hot line of work right now. To break into a NATO computer network that wasn't connected to the internet, Russian spies opened kiosks in nearby stores that sold computer accessories, hoping that someone who worked at NATO would buy one of their bugged USB drives just because it was more convenient and took less time than going through the long paperwork process of buying from approved vendors. It actually happened several times. And just so you know, the average Russian spy makes about US $24,000 per year. This one actually caught my eye and I thought was kind of interesting. There are currently about 1 million prostitutes in the US, counting males and females. They generate approximately US $14 billion per year. The average pimp or sex worker in Kansas City makes about $5,000 per week. The average one in Atlanta makes $32,832 a week, so maybe we need to move. 42% of U.S. pimps and prostitutes have at least graduated from high school. 36% have attended a college or technical school. And roughly 1/3 of the people who become prostitutes have a relative who is or was a prostitute. Prostitutes in the U.S. often leave the trade to do something else, but most return to it because the pay is higher than almost anything else offered in their local area. That's all I've got for you this week, motor cars. Have a good weekend.